Are there cultural differences in the way people experience and express emotion? Anthropologists have suggested that people from Western cultures may be more emotionally expressive than those from Eastern cultures.
Well, to be honest, I haven't thought a whole lot about it, but as I think about it, I don't really think it would be that different.
Yes. For the most part, Korean people don't smile. Yeah, especially emotions in what I feel the American culture would consider good, they'd want to keep hidden.
I think it really depends on how long you've been here. My family, we're from Taiwan, so we're actually a little more reserved, whereas as I grew up here, so I think I've been kind of Americanized in the way I express things.
Psychologist Jeannie Tsai says culture does shape how we think, feel, and behave, but her research on feelings suggests that the relationship between culture and emotion is complex.
Culture seems to shape how we express our emotions on our faces as well as how we talk about our emotions when we're in the throes of an emotional event. But there are other aspects of emotional responding where it seems like culture has minimal influence. For example, when we're feeling an emotional response, often our heart beats really fast or we start sweating. And it seems that in those aspects of emotional responding, culture seems to play a lesser role.
Hi, are you Jenny? Yeah.
Here at the Culture and Emotion Laboratory, we can observe some of the similarities in emotional expression and some of the differences.
What I'd like you to do is fill out these questionnaires.
Jenny's ancestors are from the mountaintops of Laos, and she's referred to as Hmong American. The questionnaires measure cultural attachment, and when she's asked if she's embarrassed by Hmong culture, Jenny circles a 4, indicating she is. Jenny's more identified with American culture. European Americans will fill out a questionnaire related to American culture, and cultural attachment may influence emotional responding. The circles placed on subjects' faces allow researchers to more clearly see their muscle movements during emotion, and sensors are attached to measure pulse, sweating, and respiration levels.
Okay, this last sensor that will go on you measures your breathing.
Subjects are then asked to relive or re-experience a range of emotional experiences from their past while they're observed from an adjoining room.
Okay, Jenny, can you remember a time in your life when you felt very happy?
Last weekend, it was my mom's birthday, and it was really fun because we reminisced about when we were younger.
Okay, Jenny, I want you to relive the time in your life when you went to your mom's birthday dinner.
While Jenny is reliving the experience, she begins to smile. She presses a button so the duration of happy feelings can be measured, and her physiological measures are recorded. Her facial reactions are evaluated on what's called the facial action coding system.
And this is a smile, and we would code this smile both in terms of the muscle movement that produces it as well as its intensity.
Each subject relives a range of emotions, including happiness, sadness, and disgust. In comparing physiological responses of subjects, no significant cultural influences are found. It appears that our bodies respond to emotion in a similar way, independent of culture. And self-reports of emotional intensity, as measured on a scale of 0 to 8,
7.
also seem similar across cultures. But when it comes to facial reactions, specifically smiling, there are cultural differences.
We found that European Americans smile more frequently and more intensely than Hmong Americans when they're reliving happy episodes in their lives, even though they report feeling the same amount of happiness when they're reliving that event.
In addition, Hmong Americans who are more attached to American society, like Jenny, smile more than Hmong Americans like Kristen, who are more attached to Hmong culture. Kristen's less frequent and less intense smiling does not mean she's less happy, but her facial reactions could be misinterpreted.
One of the symptoms of depression is a lack of positive affect. And you can see in the clinical literature that many clinicians are talking about the flat affect of Asian Americans that either make it hard to diagnose depression or make them think that Asian Americans are depressed. And what our research suggests is that they're not depressed, they're not withholding their emotions, they're not showing flat affect intentionally. It's that they're showing the culturally normative response for their group.